Hey girl, hey, and welcome to the Self-Love Fix podcast, where we get relatable, we share tea, and we support each other on this journey of self-love, self-worth, personal development, self-esteem, and self-care. Because why wait until it's too late to start becoming the best version of ourselves? Let's start today. And I'm your host, Beatrice. So let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the Self-Love Fix. So first, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who left reviews and who rated the podcast. As always, it is so appreciated. It's so exciting to hear how you guys have been impacted by the podcast and just what you think about it, really. So thank you so much for doing that. So I feel like this past week went by really slowly and was really gloomy. I live over in California now. I used to live in Texas, but I live in California and I've never in my life seen it be cold in May. It's the weirdest thing, like snow, rain. It's insane. I don't know what's going on. I heard it could be because of global warming. I heard I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was, having to do with the environment, because this is pretty strange. But it's getting a little warmer, so hopefully all over the U.S. and other parts of the world, it's getting warmer. Well, I know there's different seasons in different countries, but if you're over here on the Northern America side, hopefully it's not snowing anymore or raining in other parts of the country. Or continent, I should say. North America is a continent, not a country. Okay, yeah, it's definitely the morning time. Yeah, the morning is when I usually I just have word salad going on. Okay, so last week we talked about how chasing somebody that doesn't want you back could end up hurting you in the long run, and how it's just not worth it. And, we deserve more. We deserve to be communicated with clearly about how people feel about us and what they want from us and things like that. Like, again, we're just not going back and forth. It's 2019 and we're not decoding and trying to figure out how somebody feels for us. People are telling us how they feel for us. And if they're not, we're moving on to somebody who can. And that's that on that. And so this week, I wanted to move into the direction of talking about feeling our feelings. And really just confronting them. It kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about last week, because a lot of times when we're not sure if someone likes us back, or we're not getting the vibe that someone's interested in us, but we still keep trying anyway, it's almost like we're not feeling our feelings and facing our feelings and really just trying to go deeper and understand, okay, what do I feel for this person? I'm sitting here trying to figure out what they feel for me and what they like about me and what they want from me, but what do I feel about them? And this goes beyond relationships, this topic of feeling your feelings, but I just kind of want to tie it together. It's really important to sit and feel our feelings and figure out what's going on deep inside. At least that's what I think. And before we jump into this episode, I wanted to mention a quote that I thought was really cool from Deepak Chopra. Well, Dr. Deepak Chopra. I don't know how to say his name or pronounce his name. I feel so bad. But if you didn't know, he is a medical doctor and also like a spiritual teacher. He's been on Oprah's podcast, and he has his whole, I think, center called the Chopra Center. I believe it's called the Chopra Center. And they teach you about meditation and different like alternative medicine healing practices. And it's so cool because he kind of brings together the scientific world with the spiritual world in his like teachings and books and things like that. But his quote that I wanted to bring up today is: an intimate relationship is one that allows you to be yourself. So I'm going to say it again. An intimate relationship is one that allows you to be yourself. And this again was by Dr. Deepak Chopra. And the quote is from his book, Journey into Healing, Awakening the Wisdom Within You. It's a really good book. He's just got a lot of good stuff to say. It's just a book of quotes, really. But I thought that was such a good quote because it's such like a cheesy thing that we always hear, that, we should be ourselves, like, be yourself. That's the best you can be. I mean, it's true. We all know it's true. It's cheesy, but it's true. And I think when we hear this quote, we all might have different interpretations of it and what it could mean. And for me, when I read this quote, I think about how one of the ways that we know we're in a truly intimate relationship with someone else is when we can be ourselves and we can show our emotions and our feelings and our thoughts to other people. And it's sometimes easy for us to do that with others, but not easy for us to do that with ourselves. And I think when it comes to feeling your feelings, a lot of us kind of suppress them, block them out, or end up being really reactive and defensive, because sometimes it's easier to be reactive and defensive than to actually get to the core of how we feel or what's going on. So I think one of the ways we can really work on being intimate with ourselves and getting to know ourselves better is allowing ourselves that freedom to feel our feelings. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, I feel my feelings all the time. Like I let people know when I'm angry all the time. I let people know when I'm sad, when I'm happy, etc. But when you really think about it, let's say somebody really hurt you bad, like really badly. Most of us end up becoming angry as our first reaction, which is totally normal. Somebody hurt you, you get upset. That's fine. But what happens is maybe somebody who didn't learn how to really feel their feelings and work through their feelings and go deeper, what ends up happening with them is they end up staying angry for the long haul. Like just angry, 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 angry. I want them to feel as bad as I feel. I'm so mad at them. I'm never going to forgive them, etc. And whether you choose to or don't choose to forgive someone or stay angry with someone, it's totally up to you. But when you really think about it, who does it end up hurting in the long haul when you harbor all that anger? Because anger it's energy. I think it's a really high form of energy. So imagine harboring all that like intense energy within yourself for days and days, months and months, years and years. It's going to eat you up. It's not going to do anything to the person that you're angry at, but it's going to do you a lot more harm. And what I always like to say is that I think anger is a really convenient way to hide and cover up a lot of other emotions. It's just one of those easier emotions to access. It's easy to be angry. It's really easy to be angry. It's not easy to sit with yourself and ask yourself, okay, so I am angry. Why? What am I really feeling? What is this anger trying to tell me? Or when you get reactive. And by reactive, I mean like if somebody says something that's offensive or says something that makes you angry or just says something slight and you snap back like that, and you go on and kind of defend yourself. Do you ever sit and ask yourself, why, what's going on? Let's go deeper. Why do I feel so strongly? And why is this thing that somebody else is saying able to ignite such a reaction in me? There must be something going on deep inside. Because I feel like whenever we get reactive or whenever we snap, and by the way, your feelings are your feelings. How you feel is how you feel. But I feel like whenever we react and whenever we snap at someone, it's less about what they're actually saying to us and more about some suppressed feelings we haven't yet resolved. It may be about that certain situation or about something that situation reminds us of. So let me give an example. So maybe you're hanging out with your friends and you guys get to like talking about maybe a sensitive topic, and then you're really passionate about this topic, so you put in your 2 cents passionately, and let's say one of your friends goes, okay, chill, it's not that serious. Okay, chill, it's not that serious. First of all, that's dismissive. We all know that. Your friends shouldn't say something like that. But say when they do say that, your reaction is to get really upset and go, no, don't tell me to chill, and then, just get really angry from there on out. And then after you get angry, you guys carry on and go about your day, but you never really sit and think about, I wonder why I had that reaction. I mean, I know what she said wasn't exactly nice or warranted, but at the same time, I kind of exploded more than I normally ever do. I wonder what that's about. Like very rarely do we have these conversations with ourselves where we go deeper and think about, what's going on underneath? What's that anger trying to tell us? But if you go deeper, you might find that maybe in your life, you've had a lot of people who have tried to shut you up. and didn't let you speak. And maybe you've harbored that and you've never really dealt with that or worked through it or expressed to someone or even expressed to yourself how it made you feel when people shut you up. So now you go through life not knowing that it hurts you when people shut you up. So whenever somebody reminds you of that experience, you blow up and it just continues. The cycle just continues. You deep down inside feel badly that so many people have tried to shut you up. And maybe you even start to kind of believe that what you have to say isn't that important deep down inside because you haven't worked through that, the false belief that, what you have to say is important. So now every single time that somebody reminds you of that, it causes you to kind of lash out in anger, maybe because those times when other people tried to shut you up, you weren't allowed to express how you felt and you weren't able to express your anger. And so now you do it kind of subconsciously every time going forward. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that the crazy thing about not allowing yourself to feel your feelings as they happen, and sometimes we just don't get that opportunity to be able to feel our feelings when they happen for various reasons. But what I'm trying to say is that when we don't and it sits and it gets buried deeper and deeper, the same sort of scenario plays over and over and over again without us even realizing it. And until we resolve that. So what ends up happening is we get resentful every time, that situation sort of pops up again, right? Like with that person in that hypothetical situation, that friend that tells you, hey, chill, chill. Like without even noticing it, we get resentful that, somebody would challenge us and somebody would say something like that because what we're not realizing is that that situation represents a bunch of other similar situations that we have yet to resolve because we haven't actually faced our feelings or felt our feelings. So feeling our feelings doesn't look like reactivity or lashing out in anger. What feeling our feelings looks like is feeling whatever feeling we have going on inside rise up and accepting it first and foremost, accepting the fact that we feel angry, sad, happy, disappointed, whatever it is that we feel. It looks like observing that feeling instead of reacting, observing it as in noticing the change in your mood, noticing the change in your emotions within yourself and just kind of sitting with it, in agreement with it. And then it looks like looking at everything from all angles. So that means if you're feeling angry because, I don't know, someone ate your nothing but cake, little mini cake that you had in the fridge without asking you. I say that because those are the best cakes ever. And that could make someone really angry. It could make me really angry. But it could look like you feeling that emotion of anger within yourself, like, and asking your anger almost, what's this anger trying to tell me? And what you might find is that anger is trying to tell you that somebody eating your nothing but mini cake, makes you feel like your things aren't being respected and you're not being respected because you're not being asked if somebody can eat your cake, right? But then when you go even deeper, you might realize that, okay, maybe somebody thought that cake was free for everybody to eat, so they decided to eat it, and it doesn't actually have to do with your things not being respected. It's a misunderstanding. But you see how your anger is a reflection of what you actually feel deep inside. So if you can kind of go through that process of like asking yourself, what is the anger trying to tell me? What is the rage trying to tell me? What is the sadness trying to tell me about myself or tell me about someone else? You'll find that it actually goes deep down to your morals or your beliefs and things like that. And when you feel that those are being challenged or not being respected, what happens is your feelings tell you that. That's what feelings are there for. That's what grief is there for. That's what anger is there for. Happiness, sadness, all of it. It's there to communicate to you what's going on deep down inside. So that's why feelings are so, so important. That's why whenever people are like, oh, feelings don't matter, or when people don't respect other people's feelings or when they invalidate other people's feelings, it concerns me because your feelings are really just kind of an indicator of your morals, your beliefs, whatever's going on deep inside of you. And it's all unique. All of our feelings are unique. All of our reactions to situations are unique because we all have different sets of morals, beliefs, all of the above. So I'm saying all this to say that what you feel is something that's real. Even if you get full of rage and you are full of anger or full of grief, full of sadness, whatever it is, it's not wrong. It's not wrong to feel that way. But I do challenge you to ask yourself, what are those feelings trying to tell me? I challenge you to feel your feelings by sitting and observing them and asking, what is it trying to tell me? Because you'll find that your feelings can lead you to yourself. Your feelings can absolutely tell you all about who you are and what you have going on deep down inside. And just like Deepak, I cannot say his name, I'm trying so hard. Dr. Deepak Chopra said, an intimate relationship is one that allows you to be yourself. So I challenge you to be yourself, feel your feelings, and ask yourself, what are these feelings trying to tell me? Thank you so, so, so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope that this episode helps you along your own journey to self-love. And I will catch you all next time. Same place.